my beautiful stars. I hope that you're doing so well today. If you're new here, welcome to my channel, and if you're not, welcome back. I'm so grateful that you're here. For today's video, I have a book haul. This is a collective book haul from the past couple of months from Pango, half price books, local bookstores, as well as gifts for my friends for my birthday. So if you want to keep watching and see what I got, then definitely stick around. I have them all categorized from where I bought them so that I don't forget, but I might hop around just a little bit because there is quite the stack in front of me. I have been trying not to buy as many books because I'm on a physical TBR reading challenge. As you can see, I have a lot of books. This is not even all of them. I have another shelf in my bedroom. This is our guest bedroom, and so I've got to get to reading. And I have been pretty good about reading a lot of books, so I thought that treating myself wouldn't be too terrible because a few of them are on my Pango. I've been giving some to Little Free Libraries, so it's not too terrible. But without further ado, let's just get into the haul. Starting off with Barnes & Noble, I did get their like cafe book of the month, which if you didn't already know, Barnes & Noble does a gig every month where they have a book of the month, which this month is If Cats Disappeared from the World. You get it for $5. They've had Lynn Painter books before, and I can't remember what their other one was before that, but $5 for a book. The only way you can get it is if you buy a drink from the cafe. So not a bad deal because you can get any drink you want. So I think in total you spend probably under $10 for a book and a drink. Not a bad deal, but I am a cat lover and I thought this would be a good one to read. Kind of reminds me of like a Mitch Albom book almost, so I'm excited to give that one a try. I also got Love and Other Conspiracies by Valerie Marlowe. I've been eyeing this one for a while and I love these funny supernatural romances. I think this will be so fun to read, and I think I tried to find it on my Libby app and I don't know if my library acquired this one yet. I know they have Morbidly Yours, which is another one I want to read, so I did put that hold in there, but I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna buy it and it's fine. To treat myself for my birthday, I got Emily Henry's A Funny Story, and I've read Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation from her, and then I own Happy Place as well as another one in the stack, so I am so excited to read this one. I think I actually own all of her books that she's ever written, and I think she has like one or two more coming out. I'm just so excited to read these. Then I got The Book of Magic by Alice Hoffman, which is a follow-up to the Practical Magic series, and it follows Aunt Jet. Got this at one of my favorite local bookstores, and they have a smaller selection, but I was hoping that they'd have this, and they did. So super excited about this one. I read Magic Lessons from her this past summer from the library. It made me fall in love with like the whole world that she's written about this family and the lineage. It is fantastic. For gifts for my friends, I got Catherine Center, The Bodyguard, and I am so happy to have this. I actually already had a copy that I thrifted, so that one I put on my Pango because I was like, somebody else can enjoy that one, and I'll keep the one that my friend gifted me because they didn't know I already had it. Like, I just own too many books because I like to thrift, and I just happened to find it at the thrift store and I was like, oh my gosh. But I'm definitely gonna keep the one that my friend bought for me. Same with this one. I did have Book Lovers that I thrifted already, but that one's also on my Pango. I am so excited to have like a more pristine copy. My other one's a little bit more loved, so I'm so grateful to have these ones, and these were Christmas gifts from my friends. We were finally able to meet up a couple weekends ago, and they live over in Wisconsin, so it was fun to go visit and take a little road trip down there and get away from Minnesota for a second. But I'm so grateful for those, and again, can't wait to read those. They introduced me to a buy-sell trade store called The Book Deal in Madison, so if you are from Madison or the surrounding area, definitely check it out if you haven't already. It's like a half-price book, so you can bring in books to sell, and then they also have, I think, newer ones that you can buy. They have used books, of course. So I got The Seat Filler by Soraya Wilson, and this one follows a seat filler at an award show, and she gets sat next to a heartthrob, and she's like, oh my gosh, I really like this person, what do I do? And I think it kind of follows their love story, so I thought that would be really cute to read this summer on the beach. And then I got 19 Claws and a Blackbird by Augustina Besturica, and I do own Tender as the Flesh from this author. Two different sides of my likes. I really like a good thriller slash like horror novel, and I also really like romance books, so two very extremes. But I I do have Tender as the Flesh. I haven't read that one yet, but I've heard it's very disturbing, so I'm kind of nervous to read it. These books are so appealing because I like a good thriller or horror. I always get so scared to read them even though they sound interesting. So if you've read this, let me know. It's definitely a shorter book compared to Tender as the Flesh, so I think that this one would be a pretty quick one if I decide to pick this up soon. And I have a couple other novella type style books like a similar size as this one. I think I have like What Moves Them or something like that. It's another kind of creepy book. But anyways, moving on to my Pango books. So I got the Saturday Night Ghost Club by Craig Davidson. I've been eyeing this one also for quite a while, and I'm so happy to finally have this in my hands. This one also looks to be kind of like a shorter read, and I think it's like ghost stories, urban legends, and follows a clan of kids, and people said it's like Stranger Things vibes, so I think that's why I wanted to read it in the first place. I found Aquamarine. This was only $1 on Pango. This is also an Alice Hoffman book, and I read this in like 30 minutes. It is definitely meant for like, you know, I probably would have picked this up at like Scholastic Book Fair or something back in the day. It is so different from the movie. I honestly prefer the movie over the book. This was very odd. The characters are all the same, but the storyline is so different from the movie that I'm like, whoa. And I just feel like I love the movie's message more than what the book was doing, so but I'm so glad I was able to read it. Then I thrifted Ruth Ware's The Death of Mrs. Westaway. I own In a Dark Dark Wood. I've heard such good things about that book, and then she's also the author of The Woman in Cabin 10, so definitely a thriller author, and I think this will be a good one to read. And it was like $3.50 at Uni. From Half Price Books, I found We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han, so this rounded out my collection of this trilogy, and if you haven't read this series, I definitely recommend it. It's very coming of age, but it's so sweet, and it just gives like the best summery West or East Coast vibes, and it's very comforting in a way. Then I got Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper, and I've been also eyeing this one for a long time. There's probably a common theme of like romance, horror, thriller, and supernatural books, but yeah, that's definitely very much me, and I have heard good things about this from Book Talk to booktubers. They always recommend that one. And then I just rewatched My Life with the Walter Boys, so I decided to grab the book, and it's a hefty one. It's bigger than I thought it would be, but they're coming out with a second season soon, so I thought I would read this. Between that, I can have more background on the story. From the same Pango seller, I got You Again by Kate Goldbeck, and people have said this is very much like early 2000s rom-com vibe, so I just thought that would be a fun one to read again either this fall or honestly I guess whenever I want to reach for it. That is everything I got at Pango, Half Price Books, other bookstores, and Barnes & Noble, gifts, all the things over the past couple of months. Thank you so much for watching, and definitely subscribe. I do book videos very often, so if this is your jam, then this is the place for you. And until my next video, shine bright. Bye!